Hello and welcome to Addis News Hour with the news. I'm Shifarao Lakao. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has today launched the Gorgora Park project, which is part of the Dine for Ethiopia National Beautification and Greenery Initiative. The first phase of the construction of the park has been commenced today in the presence of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Dammeka Mekonnen, Amhara Regional State Chief Agenyehu Teshagar, other government officials and public figures. Gorgora is a town with a spectacular view located south of Gondar city on the north shore of Lake Tana in North Gondar zone of the state of Amhara. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has launched two asphalt road projects in the state of Amhara. The two important road projects are scheduled to be completed in the coming 3 years. 5.3 billion birr is allotted for the construction, which is funded by the government of Ethiopia. The premier on the occasion said upon the completion of the projects, the corridor will facilitate trade for farming communities in the area and connect the country with Sudan. The premier also visited Koga irrigation-based lowland wheat production farm in Mecha Woreda of Amhara Regional State. Mecha Woreda in the Amhara region has been successful in cultivating 3,590 hectares of wheat through the Koga irrigation scheme in 15 clusters, the premier said, adding that smallholder farmers have been producing avocados through the same irrigation scheme, demonstrating success in productivity. He also said the country has given due attention to avocado production, which is expected to be one of Ethiopia's leading export items in the years to come. More than 300 hectares of land has been covered with lowland wheat farming across the country as part of the efforts underway to substitute imported wheat with local production. Moving on, Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's book Yemedemer Manged, or The Way of Synergy, was released for readers on Thursday here in Addis Ababa at a ceremony at the Unity Park. The book explores the trajectory of change and the way forward with Medemer or Synergy. On the launching ceremony, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has called on Ethiopians to focus on results during the excruciating journey. Jerusalem Bazia presents the story as follows. We apologize for the technical glitch there. And moving on, Ethiopia receives first batch 2.2 million COVID-19 vaccines from COVAX. Receiving the vaccine doses, Minister of Health Leah Tadessa said the vaccination will prioritize frontline health professionals and the most vulnerable citizens. Goshu Melissa presents the story as follows.
Ethiopia has received Sunday the first batch of 2.2 million COVID-19 vaccine doses from COVAX, which is crucial in the East African country's fight to stop the spread of the pandemic. Receiving the vaccines, Minister of Health Leah Tadessa said the vaccination will prioritize the most vulnerable citizens.
የኮቪድ-19 ክትባት Ethiopia has received 2.2 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine from COVAX International Company. This is the first batch of AstraZeneca vaccines, which is recently being distributed in various parts of the world. The National Task Force, which was formed previously, has been doing a lot of work as per the guidelines of World Health Organization to make the arrival of the vaccine successful. Based on this, priority will be given to vulnerable citizens, particularly frontline workers. Elderly people and patients with complicated cases will also get the shot. The vaccination will be launched soon.
በአጭር ጊዜ ውስጥ በሚቀጥሉት አጭር ቀናት ውስጥ ለማህበረሰብ ክፍሎች መሰጠት የሚጀምር ይሆናል።
WHO country director for his part said Ethiopia played a significant role on COVAX International for poorer countries to have equal access to the vaccine.
The government of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, along with development partners, has developed a strong national COVID-19 deployment and vaccination plan, which is in line with the WHO guidance in the prevention and control of COVID-19 in Ethiopia. The effective launch of the COVID-19 vaccine will have direct benefits in terms of averted cost of treatment and disability, as well as strengthening the health system across the country.
Ethiopia expects to eventually secure a total of 9 million doses, which the East African country hopes will be used to vaccinate up to 20% of its population.
Meanwhile, the European Union has announced additional 100 million euros to expedite the vaccine rollout in the continent. Take a listen.
The rapid deployment of vaccines and associated supplies, equipment in the right condition, in the right quantities, in the right place, is actually taking place. In this regard, the European Union has announced additionally 100 million euro in humanitarian assistance to support the rollout of the vaccination campaigns in Africa. The ultimate goal is to continue to target and to reach the target set by the African Centers for Disease Control of vaccinating 60% of the population on the continent. It is our hope that the vaccines will save lives and restore livelihoods, as European Union High Representative for Foreign Affairs, José Borrell, has highlighted. This hope can only be delivered upon if the whole world is vaccinated rapidly. We cannot say we are safe until everybody is safe.
Now let me take you back to the story that I read earlier. Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's book የመደመር መንገድ, or The Way of Synergy, was released for readers on Thursday here in Addis Ababa at a ceremony at the Unity Park. The book explores the trajectory of change and the way forward with መደመር or synergy. On the launching ceremony, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed called on Ethiopians to focus on results during the excruciating journey. Jerusalem Bezia presents the story.
In October 2019, Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has written a book titled መደመር, the Amharic word for synergy. The 280-page book introduces the concept of synergy, which lexically signifies extra power, synergy, and success to be achieved by working together. The author broadly argues መደመር philosophy is a comprehensive socio-political economic perspective necessitated by the events of the past several decades in Ethiopia. It analyzes objective historical conditions and makes practical prescriptions for political reform and economic progress. And Saturday, Prime Minister Abiy launched the second part of መደመር, which is የመደመር መንገድ, or the way of synergy. This second part explores the trajectory of change through መደመር and the experience from the EPRDF.
የመደመር መንገድ እንደተባለው ከመደመር ባጻጻፍ አይነቱ ይለያል።
This book contains the thoughts and ideas that lead to the change that has taken place over the years, what the reform process has been like since its inception, the success and challenge that have arisen over time, and the accompanying stories. This new book differs from the past book of መደመር or synergy and its literature review.
ብዙ ትችት ስላስነሳ ያሁኑ ቀድሎ ብዙዎች ማንበብ እንዲችሉት ሆኖ ተዘጋጅቷል።
Prime Minister Abiy called on Ethiopians to be part of solutions to the country's all-rounded challenges rather than sticking on past and present challenges.
ለኢትዮጵያ አንድነትና እርቅ በእጅጉ ያስፈልጋል። ኢትዮጵያ አንድ እንዳትሆን የሚፈልገው የዓለም ቁጥር እና ተቋማት
Unity and forgiveness are needed for Ethiopia. The book also shows the significance of these two elements for Ethiopians. We knew that many foreign powers didn't like our unity and prosperity. Therefore, we should be wise to support each other with knowledge and ideas. If all assume leadership role, no one may properly lead the country, but we can help each other and lead with important ideas and knowledge from others.
On the launching ceremony, authors and scholars have presented their critics on the book. The book came into languages Amharic and Afan Oromo.
Now, the Minister of Health, Leah Tadessa, has been appointed as a co-chair for the Global Financing Facility GFF Investors Group. GFF is a multi-stakeholder global partnership housed at the World Bank that is committed to ensuring all women, children, and adolescents survive and thrive. Launched in July 2015, the GFF supports 36 low and lower middle-income countries. Her role at GFF will be to help foster effective communication and engagement with stakeholders such as countries, donors, technical and advocacy partners, and ensure alignment of the GFF's vision. Arba Minch University proposes a smart city project for 500,000 people. Speaker of the Ethiopian House of People's Representatives Taggese Chafo said the project will have a significant economic benefit for the city of Arba Minch. Emmanuel Jorge presents the story as follows.
Initiated by scholars and investors originated from Arba Minch City, a smart city project has been prepared by Arba Minch University, considering the estimated 500,000 population of the city after 40 years. Speaker of the House of People's Representatives discussed with Gamo zone leaders on the project prepared by Arba Minch University to make Arba Minch and its surrounding favorable for the estimated number of residents in the city by 2060. The project aimed at preserving the area, restoring some damaged natural resources, building community-centered economy, and further boosting up the town's current suitability for tourism and investment. It's stated that works are underway to participate local and diaspora investors in Arba Minch Smart City project, which requires huge amount of expense. Attending the discussion, Speaker of the House of People's Representative Taggese Chafo said the project will have significant social and economic benefits for the country as it goes operational.
We have a system that enables us to run projects coming from the federal government, regional government, donor and city administration, and from private investors together. We also have coordination office that will lead these activities. There will be platforms at least twice per year in which different scholars discuss on the performance of the project implementation. If we do that, nothing is impossible. We have seen projects finished in short period of time that launched by our Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed in Addis Ababa. This is great initiation for all of us in different localities. Not only in Arba Minch, but are not all stakeholders in different parts of the country performing such activities for their respective areas. We will prosper together. There is a potential in the talent.
About 180,000 people reside in Arba Minch City, which is blessed with abundant natural resources, including tourist attractions.
Now, in our continental news, African countries are giving COVID-19 vaccines to their citizens among the spread of the coronavirus across the continent. Some of them also signed yet to receive millions of doses of COVID-19 vaccines under the Global COVAX scheme. Alula Taklamarim has compiled the following story from different sources.
Africa marked the move from planning to action in the rollout of COVID-19 vaccines in a significant step forward for the African region. National deployment and vaccination plans for COVID-19 vaccines from 35 low-income African countries eligible for free vaccines from the COVAX facility have been accepted by an independent regional review committee. Accordingly, Ethiopia will receive 2.2 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines under the global COVAX scheme this Sunday. The Ministry of Health said it is making preparations for the introduction of the vaccine for prioritized population groups. The vaccination program will be launched in the coming few weeks. Ethiopia has a plan to vaccinate 20% of its population against the pandemic by the end of 2021. The number of new COVID-19 infections and deaths from the virus is increasing rapidly in the country, according to the ministry. The ministry added the infection rate of the virus has increased from 10% in the past to 13% now. Meanwhile, Mali received its first batch of vaccines against COVID-19 on Friday, the first Sahel-Saharan country to receive shots through the COVAX initiative. A plane carrying 396,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine landed in Bamako, where President Bandao and Prime Minister Mokhtar Oune were among those waiting. Senegal also received 200,000 doses of China's COVID-19 vaccine Sinopharm on Wednesday, purchased at around $3.8 million, according to the country's finance ministry. Nearly 1.3 million more vaccine doses are also expected to arrive via the World Health Organization COVAX initiative. Furthermore, some countries like South Africa and Zimbabwe have their own independent vaccination programs, but there is a growing list of nations now benefiting from COVAX-provided vaccines. Deliveries of vaccine supplies under the COVAX program started on Friday, and most countries in Africa have signed up. The program aims to distribute an initial 500,000 doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine worldwide, with the aim of supplying 2 billion vaccines by the end of 2021. Of this total, the WHO says 600 million doses will be for Africa, enough to vaccinate at least 20% of the population of the continent. However, there are a handful of African countries not taking part in COVAX for various reasons. Tanzania and Madagascar have said they have no plans to acquire vaccines, and Burundi says that at the moment they don't need vaccines. And some nations have sourced vaccines from outside the COVAX scheme. They have done so through direct purchases from the manufacturers or as donation from countries such as China, Russia, India, and the United Arab Emirates. Globally, there have been calls for developing nations to ensure that poorer countries are not left behind in the push to vaccinate against COVID-19.
And finally, a quick reminder of the top stories. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed launches the construction of the Gorgora project. And Ethiopia receives the first batch 2.2 million vaccine doses of the coronavirus. That's all the news there is for now. Many thanks for watching us. Bye-bye.